In this video, I want to talk to you about setting goals. My name is Shonda Miles. I am a high performance coach, and setting goals is so important. It's nothing like setting a goal and being able to accomplish that goal, seeing it all the way through to the end. And so what I did was, 20 years ago, I set a goal. First time I really set a goal and then stuck with it to the end. And since then, goal setting has become a part of my everyday life. But what I did was I sat down and I said, okay, so what happened was my husband and I were having a discussion. And he was saying that he didn't know anybody who was making six figures, so he didn't think people made six figures. And of course, for me, I'm thinking, okay, Oprah Winfrey makes more than six figures. I went down the list. I was just thinking about people who were making six figures. And I know that God is no respecter of persons. And I also know that if they can do it, I can do it. They're proof, right? Of course, people setting records every day, right? So even if they hadn't done it, it's still people breaking records every day. So I sat down and I said, okay, what is it that I know that makes more money than I make? Who is in my particular field or my industry that's making more money than I'm making? So it could be your supervisor, the director, the manager, CEO, whatever it is. You start looking at, okay, what qualifications, what education, what do they have? What experience do they have? Why are they making more money than I am? And then what do I need to do to get to the next level? And you write it down on a piece of paper. Super important that you write it down, because you got to write that. You got to know what it takes to get to the next level. And this is a step that people miss. We got to make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do in order to get to where we want to go. And so sometimes we spend, 10 years talking about it because it sounds good and people listen. Sometimes we just have this wish. I wish I could do this. I want this. But there's no plan, no deadline, no specificity, all these different things. So you got to sit down and say, okay, this is what I want. Get very specific by when. And so I like a goal that's a year, and that's what I had. I had decided in 1 year that I was going to make six figures. So I sit down and I looked at the people in my industry who was making six figures already. I just wanted to see what were these people doing. So I noticed that if I did this particular thing in my field, I could make six figures. So it was a big climb for me, right? It was going to be double my income, and it was something completely new arena for me. And so there was no turning back, right? I had already decided I'm in this industry. I'm going to stay in this industry. I'm going to do what these people who are already making six figures are doing, right? So I bought all the books. I knew I was going to study for 2 certifications because these 2 certifications would propel me forward, right? I knew I was going to be able to make more money. So I bought 25 books. And over that year, I started studying every single day. And so even on the weekend, I was studying every single day. If I was not working or doing something for my children, I was studying every single day. There was no turning back. There was no failure. I was going to double my income. I was going to make six figures no matter what. And we got to get to the point where we are committed to a thing that we're going to stick with it no matter what. And so what I learned is things get hard before they get easier. And it's almost like a test. Like, are you really serious about this? Do you really want this? And you got a pen to a paper, or if you do it electronically, digitally, you want to write it down. What is it that is going to take for me to get from where I am to where I want to be? And most people will take action, sporadic action, but they don't have a plan. So you want to have a plan. You want to write down what it is that you want to do, and you want to write how is it that you're going to accomplish this goal. Believe that you can accomplish the goal, because that's super important. You got to believe it, right? But you want to have on a piece of paper written out the steps. Like, write down everything you know you have to do in order to accomplish this goal. And then you want, of course, put it in order, like priority order, things that are more important, things that have to be done before other things. And I learned this from Brian Tracy. So once you have that plan of action every single day, that's what you're working on. So you're eliminating distractions. I didn't do any other things. I didn't do, social media wasn't big at that time, but I wasn't watching TV. I wasn't running out, going shopping, doing all these different things. I wasn't doing that because I was determined that no matter what, I was going to accomplish this goal. And I think we let distractions deter us from achieving our goal. And I know sometimes we need entertainment. We need to walk away from things. We need to get, relax. But I was focused. I was determined to prove my husband wrong, and I was determined to make this money for my family. And I just, with that plan, every single day, I had people the whole time telling me there's no way you can do this. People who go into this field, they have to have a lot of experience. You have to, do these different things. There's no one who's going to hire you with no experience. There's no way you can pass a test. All these different things. And I didn't hear any of it. I just stayed laser focused on what it is that I want. And I was determined to do it. And so in that time, you have life is happening, people need you. And then I just started asking my husband, can you help me with the kids? Can you cook dinner tonight? And I would, every single day, I just stay focused on it every single day. I knew that at the end of this year, I was going to be where I wanted to be. I knew I was going to accomplish my goal. And I kept thinking about my life, how my life was going to be different. Once I was able to make the 6 figures, my children were going to have a better life. I was going to be able to provide more for them. It was so important that you see, when you're working towards something, think about or see yourself accomplishing the goal. Because you can't, if you can't see it, you're not going to do it. If you can't see yourself accomplishing your goal, you're not going to do the work in order to, attain the goal. So I would see myself accomplishing the goal. I would look at, okay, this is how my life is going to be different once I accomplish this goal. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is how my lifestyle is going to change. I just started every single day. I started seeing myself with earning this money in a new career, making more money, better decisions. My life was going to be different. It was going to be so much better. And every single day it was hard, because some days you just don't want to do it. But when you get in your mind that this is what you want to do, and no matter what, there is no failure, right? You just keep moving forward. And of course I had setbacks, and I just kept going every single day. I was committed, and you got to be committed. You got to be rock solid in whatever it is you're wanting to do. If you're not committed, then you'll quit as soon as it gets hard. I didn't have to have motivation. I didn't have to have anybody pepping me up. I was going to conferences. I was going to classes. I was doing all these extra things. And everywhere I was going, people were talking to me negative. Like, it would say, okay, what are you doing? What do you want? Whatever. And people would say something negative to me every single time. And it was fuel. I used it to move forward. I used it to prove them wrong. I used it to prove myself that I could do this. And I made up my mind. If you set your mind to do something, you can do it. You just got to make up your mind and do the work every single day. And so somewhere we get lost between writing a plan and then taking action. And most people are, they know what they want. And they know where they are right now. It's just the in between, the plan of action and the taking action that people get in trouble with. So just make sure that you're clear about what it is that you want by when, you know where you're starting from, and then you got a plan. And all a plan is steps, action items, tasks, things that you have to do in order to get to where you want to be. You can talk about it all day, but every single year it will escape you, because you got to have a plan. You got to be doing something every single day in order to get to where you want to be. And if you're just taking action without a plan, we miss a lot of steps. We miss a lot of things that we need to be doing every single day. So create a plan, add to it as you see that you need to, and then take action every single day. Do it afraid, do it whether you know what to do or not. Just step out and learn as you go. Don't use any excuse. Of course, I want you to learn and grow, but keep moving forward. Based on your plan, keep moving forward. You can start to hire coaches and consultants, whatever it is you need to keep moving forward, to get the expertise, to learn the skills, to do the things you need to do. But make sure you work your plan and you're doing things every single day towards your goal. And then you'll see that things will change. You'll look around and you'll be able to accomplish your goal. But goal setting works if you work it. You got to have a goal, a specific goal, a deadline, a plan of action, and you got to take the steps every single day. Sometimes we don't accomplish the goal by the deadline. We just create a new deadline and start all over. But just keep moving forward no matter what. And in that 12 months, I did get the certifications. I did double my income. I made 6 figures. And it's just, it shows you that we typically set goals too low. We typically have things that we can easily accomplish if we just we're dedicated. We're committed. We were just spending enough time to work towards something. And it taught me that you can do anything you put your mind to. If you decide to do something, you can do it as long as you're doing the work every single day. And so goal setting works if you work it. So I hope you'll use the things that I've shared here to set your goals, to get to where you want to be. If you need help with this, there's a free video webinar below that you can join us, and you can learn more about how to do this for yourself step by step. And we'll see you in the next video.